Blessings. Today I'm going to share with you a tutorial for headstand. I'll share a couple different variations so that you can play around and explore seeing what feels good for you. If none of these options are feeling good in your body, just continue to practice and build up your core strength, your body awareness, your spatial awareness, and with time and practice, you will be able to get into headstand with one of these variations. So I'm going to begin by sharing tripod headstand. And to get into that, you're going to come into tabletop pose. And I highly recommend you listen and watch first, okay? Don't try to just follow along right away. Really take a second to watch it through, maybe even pause, rewind, and watch again before you try to get up into the air. So you're gonna begin in tabletop pose. Knees hip width distance apart, arms shoulder width apart, hands shoulder width apart. And then you're gonna start to bend into your elbows and bring the crown of your head down to the mat. Now let me just show you the crown of the head, the top of your head. It's not on your forehead, so right on the crown of your head. Might be hard to see because I got a big afro, but the crown of my head is coming down to the mat, okay? Bending into the elbows, and I'm drawing my hands back a couple of inches so that I'm making a 90-degree angle with my elbows. So you'll see that there. From here, I'm going to come onto the balls of my feet and lift my knees off of the mat. Now I'm going to walk my feet closer towards my hands. And from here, the purpose of walking your feet closer towards your hands is so that you can see that my hips are starting to stack above my shoulders. The bone stacking is really important to help you get into the air. From here, you might even just want to stay here and feel what this is like for you to have the pressure on your head, trying to bring some of the pressure off of your head into your hands. And if you feel good here, you can lift your right knee and bring your right knee onto your elbow, your left knee onto your left elbow. You'll see there's a little bit of a shelf here. So that's where you're going to place your knee. And then just bring that one down and try the other leg. If you feel good there and you want to try both, get really light onto like the tippy top toes of the ones that are touching the ground, and then bring the other knee up. And just, again, experiment with what it feels like here. Engage your core. If you'd like to see if you can lift off, if you're feeling pretty sturdy here, you can lift one leg up into the air. Really squeeze your core, draw your belly in towards your navel. Keep breathing as you lift the other leg up to meet it. To come down, you come down the same way that you came in. And when you come out, you really want to be intentional to take a moment to just breathe. I'm sitting in Malasana squat. That feels really good to me right now. It might also feel good to come down into child's pose with the knees together, the arms wrapped around, resting your forehead down. And taking a few breaths here to reset. Rising up when you're ready. And I do recommend, as you're practicing these headstand variations, if this is your first time, you should probably try doing it up against a wall so that you have some support in case you kind of lose your balance and fall forward. There's something there to catch you and you don't come crashing down onto the floor or your mat. So if you practice up against the wall, I'll just show that one time here so you can see the same variation, tripod again, but up against the wall. You're gonna wanna be like not having your hands all the way up against the wall, come a couple inches back. So you can see it from another angle here, again, beginning in tabletop pose, bend into the elbows, lower the crown down to the mat. Walk the hands back so that you create a nice 90-degree angle. Lift the knees, walk your toes forward, stacking the hips. Knees come onto elbows. Lift one leg at a time. So my body's not even actually touching the wall behind me. I'm not using it for full support. It's just there to catch me in case I need it. Lower down. And rest. Okay, next variation. If that was feeling like a lot of pressure on the crown of your head, I think you will like this next variation. So for this one, this is called triangle headstand. And this time you're going to, again, start in like you're coming into tabletop pose. Lower down onto your forearms and reach across for opposite elbows. This is going to help you determine how far apart your arms should be. And once you grab across for the opposite elbows, leave your elbows there and then bring the hands clasped together at the center. Two options for this variation. So one, the crown of your head can come down directly to the mat and your palms are just kind of holding gently the back of your head. So that's the first option. And the second option is to close your palms together to touch, so they're squeezing together instead of open. In this time, in this variation, the crown of your head is going to be placed down onto this part of your thumbs, like if you were going to hit a volleyball with both hands, the crown of your head's going to rest right there. I find that variation with the crown of my head rested on my thumbs is the most helpful for relieving the pressure on the crown of my head and really dispersing that through my arms instead. But for some people, it feels like a lot of weight going into their hands. And so experiment with both of those options. Palms open, crown of the head onto the mat, or palms closed, crown of the head onto the tops of your hands and thumbs. Same idea here, so placing the crown of your head wherever you determine is feeling better in your body. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Walk your hips forward. This time you're going to lengthen one leg up to the sky. Come on to the tippy top toes of the standing leg until you start to feel the balance. And that other leg, once you find that balance and engage your core, it just can float right up there. Now I want to make a note that I really do not recommend jumping or hopping into headstand. It's a really vulnerable position for your head and your neck. So keeping yourself safe and protected, not jumping into it, and really using your core strength to rise up. And if it's not there yet, then keep building your core strength and practicing, and with time, you will get there. Again, come down just as slowly as you came in and take a rest in child's pose. When you're ready, go ahead and rise up. And I want to show another way to come into that triangle version of headstand. So the one I just did, my legs were kind of straight behind me and one leg rises up. You can also come into it from straddle pose. So let's say I'm in wide leg forward fold and I'm able to bring my forearms down to the mat, rest the crown either all the way to the mat or onto the thumbs. Start to come onto the balls of your feet and lift one leg up at a time, coming into it from straddle. You can just hang out right here or slowly bring the legs together. And come out, same way you came. So that's another way that you can come in and out of that. Okay, lastly, I want to show you how you can do this with the support of some blocks. And this will be kind of like a modification of tripod headstand. Or yes, tripod headstand. I'm going to do this up against the wall. And you know, I think you'll have a better view if I do it from here. I recommend really sturdy blocks, so the cork blocks are going to work better for something like this than like the foam ones. These are just a little bit better for holding body weight. So I have my two blocks here, and I'm going to bring my fingertips, come into tabletop pose, bring the fingertips towards the blocks, lower down. My shoulders are going to rest directly on top of the blocks. Let my head hang down, crown of my head hang down. The crown of my head might not even touch the mat all the way. So really the weight is going to be into my shoulders, supported by these blocks. So make sure that you have a really sturdy base here. You might even want to bring in some like another stack of blocks next to it, or be up against the wall again here. So lift the knees, walk your toes forward, stacking the hips, and then one leg at a time, lift up and come down, or alternatively, bring the knees on top of this little shelf here with your arms, and then lift one at a time. So there's, almost fell back, but I was able to catch myself by bending into my legs. So as you practice, you'll find ways to catch the balance. Slowly come down. Woo! Okay, so you have lots to play around with. Be gentle with yourself. Protect your neck. Use the wall for some support and have patience. Really, again, want to just repeat another time that I really do not recommend jumping or hopping into a headstand. It's really about the bone stacking, your core strength, and getting comfortable being upside down. Now, if none of that felt okay in your body, I want to tell you that you can get all of the benefits of a headstand, which is really the reversing of blood flow, by just coming onto your back and bringing your legs up into the air. You're reversing the blood flow without having to like balance on your head and get upside down. So this is also available as an option. Whenever you're done with your headstands, take some time to rest, either in child's pose or come into shavasana. Take a deep inhale in through your nose, filling your belly with air. And exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. Once more, deep inhale. And exhale. Continue to rest for as long as you desire. And whenever you choose to continue on with your day, I'm wishing you a day aligned to your highest self and the highest good of all beings on the planet. Be well.